What's a good YouTube? It's your boy One Way, man. One Way do, aka himself. But we got this diver was swallowed whole. Whatever the fuck that shit about a great white shark in front of his friends. I want to do that diving shit, right? Woohoo! Let's go scuba diving. These animals ain't gonna do shit to us. These fucking eat y'all dumbasses, y'all.
So, a young university student enjoys scuba diving off Australia's coastline.
Heights and waters off limits. Don't ever invite me fucking plane jumping, nigga. Nigga, I don't even go near oceans no more. I don't go to beaches, bro. Nigga, I go to the beach. I'm not passing half the sand. You see how it's a part with sand and then it's the beach? Half the part of the sand, I'm not passing it.
Diving into the deep blue.
Yeah, hell no.
Visibility is poor. The colorful fish and scenic
fish
are a distraction for the team of divers. They fail to spot a predator heading their way. It's on the hunt, and it homes in on its prey, the divers. Hit that like button and subscribe right now. This is the terrifying shark attack on Jonathan Lee.
Jonathan Lee, man.
Final Affliction.
Dumbass little nigga. R.I.P. Brody, though.
It was the weekend. Sunday, September 8th, 1991. Jonathan Lee was a 19-year-old second-year student at Adelaide University in South Australia.
You wanna die,
he was
right?
from the northeastern suburb of One Tree Hill. He and his mates enjoyed their weekends off from studying. It meant they could explore the surrounding area, have a break from lectures, and take a boat out into the sea to enjoy a spot of diving. This was the perfect way to spend their time off. To enjoy a spot of diving. This was the perfect way.
I bet. You see here? You see this thing right here? Y'all see this thing right here? I'm not passing here. I'm not passing this part right here. Yep. I don't give a fuck if it's a little water right here, but I'm not passing right here. Right here. Right here at the most. But that's it.
Wait to spend their time off. They drove to Aldinga Beach, 45 kilometers south of Adelaide. From there, they hauled their dive gear into a boat and motored out from shore. The sky was clear. The air was warm. The group of friends laughed and chatted as the sea breeze blew their hair and the salt spray splashed into their faces. They were heading 350 meters offshore to a well-known dive spot simply called the Drop-Off. The golden sands at Aldinga Beach gave way to intertidal rock flats that extended offshore as a reef. Here, the depth dropped into an inky blue. Colorful fish swam amongst beautiful corals. Sea stars and sea urchins clung to the rocks. Groupers lurked below the overhangs and hid in the dark caves. Snappers swam past in their shoals, heading to their breeding grounds. Each snapper can grow up to 1.3 meters, or 4 feet in length, and weigh 20 kilograms, or 44 pounds. They were easy prey for sharks. Where there were snappers, there were likely to be great white sharks in hot pursuit. When the group spotted the sea turn from a light blue to a deep, dark color, they knew they had reached the edge of the reef. They lowered the anchor, and each diver pulled their mask over their face, checked their regulator, and rolled off the side of the boat. Bubbles escaped from Jonathan's wetsuit as he submerged below the surface. The cool seawater engulfed him as he sank lower in the water column. The group of friends spread out as they each explored the reef. It was a beautiful underwater scene, the brightly colored fish flitting this way and that, a green sea turtle nibbling at sea lettuce growing from the side of the reef. Beyond the drop-off was the eerie blue expanse of the open ocean. But something nearby was on the hunt. A great white shark was drawn to the reef to prey on the fish. They were easy prey and abundant closer to shore. On this particular day, despite the perfect conditions above the water, the sea was murky. Silt and sediment had been churned up from the sea floor, making visibility relatively poor. 20 minutes into the dive, 4 of the friends headed back to the boat. They had
and you set up your camera and all that.
Stop shopping on Amazon.
Nigga, fuck you and Amazon, bitch.
Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Damn.
Seen enough. It had been a refreshing dip, and now they climbed out of the sea and sat on the boat. pulling off their dive gear.
Oh,
They
you dumb as
patiently
hell.
waited for the rest of the team to finish their dive. The remaining members of the group continued to
I'll be
view the
watching from
amazing
home,
underwater
nigga.
wildlife.
I'll be
One of
watching
the
from
more
home.
senior divers in the team
I will stay
was
home and watch.
30-year-old Dave Roberts.
Y'all dumbass
Not much
niggas do whatever
later,
y'all
he
fucking
too
gotta do.
decided to head for the boat. But as he began to swim back, he noticed something. It was a large, colorful rock that caught his eye.
See, this is what happens to people, bro. You better go back. Just go back, bro. Why do you have to make that turn, bro? Just go. Yeah, now you
He
definitely
swam
get your
down to
ass.
take a closer look, and that's
Pause.
when he witnessed the shark attack. He didn't see it at first. Instead, what had caught his attention was a strange sound. It was like a booming of thunder, an ominous rumble. He looked upwards at the light penetrating the sea surface. Was it a boat powering through the water above them? The sound of its engine roaring and vibrating through the water column? That's what it sounded like. But when Dave looked up, he didn't see any sign of a boat. He looked below him, near the bottom of the reef. That's when he saw it. He saw an enormous great white shark.
Don't tell
It
me
was
shark roll.
thrashing its head from side to side near the sea bottom, likely
Motherfucker.
eating a grouper or a snapper. As its whole body arced and crashed, its tail whipped up sand from the
Fucking hate
seabed.
animals. I
A cloud
fucking
of
do,
sand
nigga.
and silt surrounded the shark, obscuring Dave's view. He watched, fascinated by the attack. His heart thundered in his chest as he witnessed a top
Don't run,
predator
bro, don't run. I ain't gonna lie,
furiously
don't
on the
run.
hunt, just meters from where he swam.
You see the
Then
sharks?
the cloud of silt and
Bro, look, shark's teeth, they're under here, bro. Don't run, bro. You running, you're giving them a good position to bite your ass. I ain't gonna lie, you might as well just fight it and make it go the other way, bro. And grab its nose and turn that shit around or something. But don't run, bro, because their mouth is down here, bro. So if you running, you giving them a good position to bite your ass. Yeah, bro,
sand
you might as well
turned
just
red
fight
as
that joint.
blood filled the surrounding water.
Move
This
his
was
head or
no
something.
attack on
Kick
a
that bitch
fish.
or something.
This was something much larger.
Ugh.
With his heart in his mouth, Dave suddenly realized this could be one of the team. He was filled with a sense of dread, a terrible feeling that he was witnessing one of his friends being mauled to death right before his eyes. But there was nothing he could do. He had no weapon. He had no way of distracting the shark or diverting its attention. He took a defensive position. There was no way he was going to swim back to the boat now. The most dangerous time of any dive is when the diver resurfaces. That's when they're at their most vulnerable. That's when most shark attacks happen. The shark was in
Yeah,
All
motherfucker!
Dave could do was hide. He crouched down behind the large, colorful
Ugh.
rock he had swum down to inspect in the first place. Hardly daring to breathe, he peered over the top of the rock, clinging onto its side with
Oh,
his gloved
fuck
hands.
no, bro.
Then the shark
Stop showing me
turned
these dirty
towards
ass
Dave.
swim shits,
He
bro.
crouched down further. The bubbles escaped from his mouthpiece, a giveaway to his position. He held his breath. Then he saw a sight that shook him to his core. Inside the shark's mouth was Jonathan, his dive buddy.
Damn.
Jonathan's body was limp and lifeless as the shark
Damn.
swam
You're
powerfully
dumb.
past
You're
Dave.
dumb.
He could see its eyes, dark black. It didn't look at him.
Fuck out
It
that
already
motherfucker.
had its catch. It stared, unblinking ahead as it passed within 2 feet of Dave. If he had stretched out his arm, he would have been able to touch it. Dave needed to get to the surface. He needed to warn the others and check that everyone else was okay. When the shark was out of sight, he made a dash for the surface. He
Bro, you don't got no no underground walkie-talkies or none? Yeah, buddy, you're cooked. You're cooked, bro.
propelled himself upwards with his
Your
flippers.
dinner for tonight,
His
nigga.
legs ached as he kicked furiously, the lactic acid building up, the burning sensation growing until finally he burst through the water into the warm air above. He pulled out his regulator. "Shark! Shark!" he screamed at the dive boat. The 4 friends already on board leapt into action. 18-year-old Ben Peterson hauled up the anchor and immediately motored over to Dave. Leaning over the side of the boat, the friends pulled him on board. As they did so, they noticed something floating in the water. Then something else, and something else. It was a dive fin, an oxygen tank,
Damn.
and some torn wetsuit. The tank was undamaged, Not a sign of a scratch or a dent, but the air hose had been severed right by the regulator. In stunned silence, the 5 of them stared in disbelief for a few heartbreaking seconds at the equipment bobbing through the sea. The 3 remaining members of the group had also witnessed the attack. Just like Dave, they had taken a defensive position during the attack. They had seen the shark on top of Jonathan. It was as though it had pinned him to the floor as it bent into him, shaking him violently from side to side. When it was over, they too made a mad dash for the boat. The group quickly pulled themselves into the boat, breathless, shocked, and stunned. It could have been any one of them. They were lucky to be alive. They grabbed a flare and fired it into the air to signal for help. There was no sign of Jonathan now. He had been taken into the depths. The group searched the sea from the safety of the boat. They hoped that by some miracle Jonathan would pop up to the surface, having survived the terrible attack. But it wasn't to be. Sadly, Jonathan was never seen again. When the group made it back to dry land, they called the authorities. An extensive search was conducted to try and find any trace of the young student. Apart from a few body tissues found floating in the sea near the site of the attack, nothing was ever found. The only thing left of Jonathan was the horrifying story of his final affliction.
Damn, Brody. Y'all niggas young as fuck too. 18, 19, like what the fuck are y'all doing, bro? Go live your life, bro. Why is you trying to scuba dive, nigga? Damn. Thank God I'll never do that shit. If I'm gonna die, nigga, it ain't gonna be fucking scuba diving. Yeah, hell nah, buddy.